Welcome to the Crown Casino in Melbourne, Australia, where one of the most hotly anticipated events of the 2010 Aussie Millions is about to get underway, the Heads Up tournament.
The Australian Heads Up Championship 2010.
The thing about Heads Up is you are forced to play so many hands. 4,500. He moves all in on the river, and she calls.
Decides just to slow play it and has made the call.
Well, Heads Up poker, you really do need to play almost everything.
He won't be out, but he'll be crippled.
On the river. It is a queen of spades. Amazing.
Hello, I'm Paul Curry, and we are here at the spectacular Crown Casino in Melbourne, Australia, for the Heads Up event at the Aussie Millions. Players are pitted against each other, two at a time, in gladiator style. It is intense, it's lightning fast, and we will play down to a winner today.
Well, actually, each round is a best-of-3 contest. I'm not sure how many losing gladiators came back for seconds at the Coliseum, but you're right about this being the most intense form of poker. They say you have to play your opponent, not your cards, to be successful at Heads Up, and we're sure to witness a fascinating blend of psychological warfare and all-out aggression.
You can't wait for aces in this type of poker. You have to come out all guns a-blazing and really use position to your advantage. Fireworks are guaranteed.
We're joining the action in hand number 25 here in this Heads Up. Action's on Barry from California. Looks at pocket nines and raises on the button. Over to Vanessa, who picks up pocket sevens, and she shoves it all in, and Barry quickly calls.
As well he might. He's a 4-to-1 favourite. Has more chips than Vanessa, so she is in danger. She's going to need to hit a 7.
Let's take a look at the flop. It is Queen 10 deuce.
No chance of a straight now. No chance of a flush. She needs to hit a 7. Just one card to do it. She's already saying match 2, let's get it on, and that's what it's going to be because she has lost round 1.
Can you snap call me with like ace 9?
So Barry Woods from California draws first blood.
He seems pretty happy about it.
I wouldn't snap call you with ace 9.
So round 2. Vanessa needing to win this one if she's to stay alive in the Heads Up challenge.
Barry looks down at pocket sevens and raises to 6 1/4, he says.
See, two
Vanessa with king 9 off suit. And we'll call. The thing about Heads Up is you are forced to play so many hands. And look at this, the flop is king 7. So Vanessa Selbst flops trips, but Barry Woods has absolutely crushed her on the flop by flopping a full house.
She'll need a king or a 9. Neither of these players is going anywhere. The money will go in here.
Well, Vanessa bets straight into the pot here, so Barry must be curious as to why she would do that. Would she really do that with a king?
600.
And he just smooth calls with his full house.
See, 2 calls.
So we go to the turn. It is a deuce of diamonds, so Barry still with the best of it, but Vanessa for sure believes she is ahead.
She only has 4 outs.
The bet is 1,700.
One bit, 1,700.
Will he move here?
Well, he knows she's very interested in this board.
Takes another look.
Giving it the full Hollywood, as you'd expect from a Californian.
See, 2 calls.
And he makes the call, so we will see a river. It is a 6 of hearts, so Barry Woods will win the hand, unless he folds. He's not going to do that. Vanessa, with trips, probably still thinks she's got the best hand. If she bets here, she certainly thinks she's got the best hand. Has she picked up the scent that Barry has flopped a full house on it?
He's called every bet she's made.
Seat 1 bets 4.5.
She does have him out-chipped, I believe.
Barry thinks it's Christmas. She's bet on every street, 4,500. He moves all in on the river, and she calls. And look at the face of Vanessa Selbst. She just cannot believe her luck.
She loses with sevens, and then she loses 2 sevens. It never rains, but it pours.
Well, a wry smile there from Vanessa and
Did you
Barry.
think we had more money? Why did it
He
take so
looks
long?
kind of unfazed. Still in round number 2 of this heads-up match. Barry Woods taking a healthy chunk out of Vanessa Selbst's stack, but she's still got enough to make an impression. And she looks down at a Queen 8 offsuit.
Raises to 900.
Raises to 900. Over to Barry now,
Seat 2 calls.
who's got Queen 3 of hearts and makes the call. So we see the flop. It is a Jack 6-3 flop, so Barry catches bottom pair.
And that is disastrous for Vanessa. She'll need to catch an 8 now, or running cards for a backdoor straight. Not so much backdoor as cat flap. She really is drawing very thin.
Seat 2 bets 1,200.
Well, Barry doesn't waste any time, bets 1,200, wants to know where he stands, puts the pressure back on Vanessa.
She really has missed this one by a country mile. But heads up is not about the cards. It's about playing the other person.
Vanessa has plenty of experience at heads up. Barry seems to be getting under her skin a little bit. And look at this.
Seat 1 raises to 3,200.
Wow, that's a gutsy raise by Vanessa. She doesn't know what Barry's got. And look at this.
2 calls.
That's even more impressive. He calls, so a little bit of cat and mouse here. We go to the turn. The turn is a 5 of spades, so Barry's still ahead in this hand.
And that takes away any remote possibilities Vanessa had of making the straight, so it needs to be an 8 and an 8 only to get her out of jail.
Well, his hand can't feel too good with that raise from Vanessa on the flop, so well, that's gutsy. He's going to bet again.
In the turn every single time.
And look at that. He bets 2,500 and Vanessa is furious.
It's no secret that poker has long been a male-dominated sport, but in recent years, more and more women are finding success at the very top levels of professional poker. So let's meet some of the women making an impact right here at the Aussie Millions. It almost feels like a bit of a cliche, but poker still is a male-dominated sport. How do you find it as a woman at the table?
It can be a bit of an advantage at times and a bit of a disadvantage at times. I mean, in terms of being an advantage, because the guys tend to be very aggressive when they're playing against a female, if I actually happen to pick up a hand, it's fantastic. I've got them betting into me, but at the same time, I sometimes feel like they do put a bit more pressure on the female players.
They don't give us any kind of credit at all, which is fine because that's how I build my chips. They never put me on a hand. They always think I'm, on air or have like a small pair or something crappy. So they always try to make moves on me, and I just clean up afterwards.
This is actually an advantage because sometimes people assuming information is much worse than just not having that information.
Guys don't like to get beaten by a woman. They can't sleep at night if they think they might have been bluffed by a woman.
It's a bit of a man's world, but when I joined the Air Force and did that, I dealt with it all the time, and I learned a lot from there. I play for a living, so I don't put up with it.
Not really. I mean, honestly, it's very weird when at the table, at the end of the day, you want tips. They might ask you for a drink later, but at the table...
They want to date you, but they don't want you to beat them at poker.
Get it all in.
then so you can go up to your room and pack and get ready for your fight.
Round 2
Well, it can be late on my
continues,
account.
as does the banter from Barry Woods, getting under Vanessa Selbst's skin here.
1 folds.
Another monster going to waste.
Every hand's a monster.
Yeah, pretty much so. Heads up, yeah.
It's the difference. It's just perception.
200 to go.
I just have to hope to outdraw.